How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are on the planet. Welcome to the Deliberate Life stream. Yeah. I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight, or RNK for short. So I was reading about King David. Now, you may have heard his story, or you may not. Doesn't matter. He was a king who was plucked from obscurity. He was really a no one who was just faithfully doing what he was doing, ultimately. Potentially had dreams of things that he could potentially do, but he was one of the youngest of his family and just a no one in some ways. And then Spirit found him, called him, put him in as king. He went through a whole lot of stuff, man. The transition journey is never always the easiest thing to go through. But he kind of stayed on the path and he became king. And he wanted to build, some kind of a temple and thing to celebrate Spirit. But Spirit said, "No, it's fine. I have made promises and I will fulfill those promises to you. It's okay." And one of the words that King David then went on to say was, "Who am I? And what is my family that you've brought me this far? And now, in addition to everything else, you speak of giving your servant a lasting dynasty. You speak as though I were someone great." And I wonder, for us, actually, I even wrote a post about it, just depending on when you're listening to this, of course. But this is the thing. Sometimes you think you're ordinary. You think there's nothing special about you. You think you're just one of the crowd. And so you carry this call on you and you ignore it in some ways because you think, nah, it's not for someone like me. And I felt that way for a very long time as well. I thought, no, I just need to obey the rules, get a good job, stay in that good job forever, and maybe do some of the things that I like to do on the side, maybe. But I kept sabotaging myself. Hey, Kyan. How you doing? You wonder as well, yeah. And so like this king, we sometimes get into this way of thinking that, you know what, I'm just ordinary. I'm just me. I may have this big vision inside of me, but really? Really? Is it possible? Really? And so then for most of us, we spend a good watch of our life trying to be ordinary because that's who we've seen ourselves as. We try to fit into the rules. We try to, do the work, do the job that they said that we should do because that is what will, keep us safe. And, okay, in some ways, some of us will have experienced some success with that. But then most of us will also go on to sabotage that. In fact, I was writing about this morning that, type A's will, we will just keep pushing ourselves to do anything, something, even though we feel as though this is just not the right path until we finally surrender. Type B's will navel gaze forever, trying to figure out, who am I, even though they know it's right there, but it just seems like, no, there's no way that can be my thing. No way. And like this King David ultimately always saying to Spirit all the time is, who am I? Who am I that you would tell me that I can do this? Who am I that you would say that I have this vision and it's possible for me to make it real? And so then we make ourselves ordinary unless we surrender. And so you always get the choice to surrender. I won't promise you that the journey is easy. Even this King David, people trying to kill him, hiding away, getting everything taken away from him. I'm sure there were times he wondered, should I not just have stayed ordinary? Should I not just have stayed in my, being a shepherd boy somewhere where nobody knew who I was? Because there will be times on the transition journey when you will feel that way. when you will occasionally look back and think, wasn't life a little bit better when I was just a pharmacist? At least it was predictable. Wasn't life a little bit better in the good old days? You'll forget, of course, that the good old days were fraught with negative emotions because you knew you were not on the right path for you. But when you're going through the transition, there's this feeling of, oh my gosh, what have I signed up for here? And yet, there's a longing inside of you to be fully expressed. There's a longing inside of you to really do the thing that you're here to do, to be the person that you're here to be, to have the things you dream of having. And yet you question it. You question it, you want it, you question it, you want it, you question it, you want it. I say surrender. Surrender. You are called to abundance in all things. Fulfillment, that feeling that you are on purpose, that feeling that you're living to your true design. Freedom, freedom from negative emotions, freedom from internal blocks, freedom to be who you are, doing what you do, with people you want to do it with, when you want to do it, freedom. You are called to those three things and more, and most of all of this is underpinned by love. You are called to live a life of love, and love involves you being who you are. Surrender to it. It may seem impossible from where you are standing right now to think that the vision you carry inside of you, is it possible? Is it possible? Who am I that I would dream like this? You are the one who is called to make it so. You, honey, feel that in the very heart of you. You are called to these things, to that vision that you carry. Stop second guessing it. Do you not see that as a planet even, we are going through a transition? People are afraid of the changes, but it is a call to each one of us to live to our full potential, to live as we are called to live. That when you are trying to be something you are not, then no, you feel weird, you feel out of place. And yes, your security cannot be found in doing what you're not called to do. So the changes will affect those who refuse to actually step onto their narrow path. But for us, the mavericks, the crazy ones, we know we're called. All I would say to you is this: surrender completely. Oh man, how many times have I fought my vision? I've tried to, make it look more glorious than more glorious in my, my experience. So I did the pharmacy thing. I did the plain old business coach thing. I did the property thing, as in real estate thing. And it's like, no, honey, stop trying to go with what I had to finally, surrender to the fact that I cannot keep pretend. I don't know how do I put it? Taking sideways paths. I cannot keep, because it seemed like, property seemed like, oh well, it's a bit more user friendly. It's a bit more, people always need houses. So let me just do this house thing. Let me provide housing for people. And it's a noble thing, but it's not my thing. Okay, let's do business coaching alone. Just plain old business coach. Let's talk about just plain business and numbers and statistics and that kind of thing. And let's help people with this and that. Again, a noble thing and still part of what I do, but it's not the whole. I kept trying, thinking, no, but nobody will want what I have. It's crazy to think that I can, what? Deliberate lie? What? What does that even mean? 334,000 people? What do you mean? That is just, for me? Who am I that I could do such a thing? And finally, surrender. Surrender. And so I call you too to surrender. Surrender. Your true work is calling you. Your true who you are is calling you. your true self is calling you. Maybe it is to write those books. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is to be the best, most amazing parent on the planet and to figure out how to do it without doing anything else. Maybe that is it. Whatever it is, you know already. Surrender. You are not just ordinary. You are called. Called to a life of abundance, of fulfillment, of freedom. So stop asking, who am I that I can do this thing? And accept that you are the one, exactly the one, to do this thing. Accept it with everything inside of you. You are the one to make it happen. And it's take this on board. You are not ordinary. You are called. Own it. Own your greatness, man. Okay, I'm going to bring it to a close here. If you have not received my book, then I invite you to start your journey into the deliberate life. Again, I don't ever promise you ease, but I promise you this: you will prosper if you will stay on the path. If you will stay on the path, if you will follow those intuitive nudges, if you will figure out who you are here to be and accept it and live it, if you will take action, you will prosper. Okay? So go get the book. It's at rosemarynonnynight.com/book gift. And it is called Pray, Affirm, Receive: How to Get Clear, Stay Clear, and take action to get what you want out of life. If you don't have it, go get it. Amen, Ignatius says. And the link is there for you, rosemarynonnynight.com/book gift. Share. Do share it. Wherever you're listening to this right now, share it. That would be really cool. Thank you. Let's spread the message of the deliberate life. It is time for us to rise up and be the people we are born to be. Let's change the world together. Let's make the world a more beautiful place as we start to live to our design. Okay? Much amazing love. Have a great day. Bye.